Hello everyone, I am Neoxenoc, and this is my video replay, apparently, of my last Legacy of Kain game. Because apparently my microphone was not connected to my laptop, so I'm doing this now. But that's okay, I guess. Okay. So, yes, at this point I'm just waiting for that moon door to open. It's a long and arduous thing waiting for those stupid moon doors, but I believe that is one of the last ones I have to deal with coming up in the game, because there are a ton more secrets, I think, between here and the end of this video that I end up getting. Although I have fun with one particular one that we'll get to later. Oh boy. Oh, what happened? Oh, okay.
Avernus consumed itself before my eyes.
Because I had already done that, I think last game was look at all that. I don't know what I was doing. Anyway, I also believe that this is the first time I actually come across this particular town. That's coming up. I love that chaos armor. Gotta love those target-rich environments. But still, more work for... what were they called? Something in Havoc? Yeah, of course, more trees in the way. You know, honestly, I'm not as particularly keen on using the axes as much as I would like to be. They're pretty awesome weapons, but...
The axes.
I was kind of sold on the fact that they're quicker to use than the normal swords. But they're not really. You hit them just about as fast. They're only really particularly good when you get the spin going, but that can be difficult to do. Take that. And then stuff like that happens. As we can see, they're not particularly good at picking those things out either. Frantically trying to find something to use.
The axes.
So against the undead creatures, of course, the flame sword is particularly good. Since I have basic... oh, yes. I love doing that. That never gets tiring. None of this ever gets tiring. Which, of course, is why my score has gotten as high as it has. The only score that matters in Legacy of Kain games, which is the number of things that you've murdered in your path to glory. Yes, Kain, everything is indeed murdered. Come on. More things to hop, so my wolf form never runs out of use, even though it's entirely, realistically speaking, it's redundant with the bat form, because you should be able to just fly over the one spot to the next. But it's just one of those game-isms. Malice and Havoc, that's what those names were. Havoc and Malice. Yeah, in combat, those stupid axes have cost me more health than I ever got by just slicing through everything. Not that they aren't fun to use sometimes, apparently. Maybe I'm just not that adept at using them. Still, in terms of killing things, that flame sword pretty much renders all the other weapons redundant. More of those stupid trees. It's still one of my great laments that what was I gonna say? Oops. Oh yeah, still one of my great laments that I wasn't able to get my PC version of the game operating properly. Maybe someday, and then I can replay it. But not today. PlayStation does a fine job. Actually, one of the advantages of using emulators over, like, PC versions is that, I mean, once you get an emulator working, all the games for that work with that emulator work on your PC. Because I have a bunch of games that I had gotten for my PC, including Resident Evil's...
opened slowly before me, daring me to cross the threshold. Who was I to reject such an invitation?
Including the first 3 Resident Evil games, the classic versions, obviously. So I can actually get to playing those, and a lot of those have advantages over the PC version that over the PlayStation version. And yes, this is a nice town. Lots of nice places to feed. But anyway, yeah, so the Resident Evil 1, for example, it doesn't really have the advanced versions that the Director's Cut did for PlayStation, but it's uncensored. Could also be hypothetically modded. What I would mod it with, I have no idea. Actually, I could also play with the music a little bit, and I think at some point in time I'm thinking of replaying Resident Evil 1, doing some kind of challenge run with it. The challenge run being just to try to beat it without saving. Which, given how well my Jill run through toward the end ended up being, I'm not sure if that'll end up being a good idea, but it's a short game. I'm sure I might be able to get it work. A couple of run-throughs won't hurt me too much. So yes, a lot of these pauses here are me looking through the strategy guide, I'm certain. So unfortunately, unfortunately, Resident Evil 4 and up is pretty much going to have to wait, and as well as any of the remakes, is going to have to wait until I get a new PC at some whatever point in time. Yes, the great thing about this city is that I can save inside of it. I did also download Silent Hills 2 and 3 for the PC as well. I haven't gotten them working or anything. I haven't even done anything with them. I did end up getting Dino Crisis up and running for my PC. So all I need to do is figure out how to get that to run on OBS. It's surprisingly finicky in a way that I don't particularly like. I'm considering finding a new recording program, but for the life of me, some of them are much more... The thing I like about this one is that it's simpler than the other ones that I was able to find. But maybe I just haven't completely figured it out yet, so... who knows? And that's how I found out that that particular spell only works on up to about 4 people at the same time. I mean, it certainly murdered that extra guy, but I didn't get anything from him.
Blood shower.
Of course, I could have gotten...
Death.
Maybe I did get something from him, and it just didn't show it graphically. I haven't the foggiest idea.
Control mind. Incapacitate.
Oh, one thing I need up
Blood gout.
is...
Incapacitate. Stun.
There we go.
Incapacitate. Through this magic, I can stop my enemies in their tracks. Frozen in time, they can do nothing to hinder their own doom. Sometimes I draw out their fate, for the added fear sweetens their blood.
Yes. Apparently adrenaline sweetens it.
Flame sword. Spiked mace.
So, that must mean the taste senses of vampires must be far greater than a normal human's.
Stun.
The reason being is that
Incapacitate.
these things would compromise so little of the blood volume that you wouldn't be able to taste things like that. I'd interestingly heard... what was it from? It was...
Stun. The human mind is a fragile thing.
Certainly
One
is.
minor shock properly timed can render them catatonic and ripe for feeding.
So anyway, I had heard something, I really forget what it was from or even what the main subject of it was, but it was about, like, I don't know if you're, like, supposed to be a vampire or if you, but it would involve blood drinking, and if a person drank enough alcohol, could you hypothetically get drunk off it? And the long and short of it is no, there just flat out wouldn't be nearly enough unless, you know, there just wouldn't be. The percentage of it would be almost nothing. Even if the person had died of alcohol poisoning and then kept drinking after that, and all that alcohol somehow ended up to the blood, it just wouldn't be. Only then, maybe, but it just wouldn't be enough. Therefore, adrenaline certainly isn't going to do anything. Spritz of adrenaline. Then again, it is a fantasy world. Who knows what, how different things are here. All the townspeople thought they were safe. This is me just having entertainments. But yeah, this is a fun little city. Stun, damn you! Ah, forget it. So yes, there's a bit of treasure to find inside this, inside the city. None of my business. I mean, aside from being one of those game-isms, I wonder what the rationale for chaining up all these people around Nosgoth is. I mean, vampires are so few and far in between in the lore in this game that it's basically just Kain and Vorador? Yeah. Basically just Kain and Vorador and not really a whole lot else. So it's not, so it can't really be for their benefit. I suppose it would only be for the whatever demon cult is running rampant around Nosgoth right now. So, trying to figure out where my next destination is. Yes, you gotta go in both of them, and both of those too. She wants to slap him, but this table is in the way. Oh, come on, go back in there. You'll be fine. Oh, I see what I'm doing. I don't want to be slapped. I just want to be a regular house invader. Oh, that's fine then. And he walks. I just noticed just how awkward that walking that he does is. I mean, it's like he's leaning forward and just swinging everything. Yes, definitely human here. 100% human grade quality meat. I mean, yes, human. It's a bit of a waste of magic, though. I wonder if I'll have enough of the Hearts of Darkness by the end of the game just to let the Chaos Armor murder the final boss. That would be amusing, although boring. Despite having all that health, he goes through quite a bit of health in a fairly short time. So you'd be like that guy. He doesn't care who Kain is. You look like a... Oh, no. Not all of them. Ah, poor sucker.